Welcome to another Alpha Magnus review. Today we've got this guy. This is the Transformers Legacy United Red 2001 Universe Autobot Sideburn. They made a Red Robots in Disguise 2015 as well. Like, can you come up with get more than meets the eyes? Like, can you come up with a different name? So he's based off of the old Sideburn toy, but this has actually been used already for another, I think, sniper character that they had. Not my cup of tea. I think it was IDW Universe stuff. But we pretty much knew when that came out that this was a pre-tool for that. We also kind of knew that it wasn't going to be what it should be. Now, the original one was a Dodge Viper, and I'm sure they did not want to have to pay for that. Kind of wish that they would, and just give us a Studio Series version of this instead of what we got. So here he is. I took him out of the package because I really just wanted to make this a little more streamlined for the use. The head sculpt is super. It is awesome. Excuse the black stuff. I had to do some stuff on my roof. So yeah, he's okay. He does have this, which is like a weird gun. Doesn't come with a missile. I'm going to probably 3D print one of those. I saw Funbee Studios did have that. And then this is like the butt of the vehicle. So it does function pretty much like the original one does. You can't take... This is one of the problems that I have with it, though, is that this is very floppy and comes out. It's not a great option. But it does simulate the original. I don't have my original anymore. I did have all of the... I was line complete on Robots in Disguise. But as a fool, I customized a bunch of them into other characters. And then now... Stinks because I don't have... I figured it would... you know... I didn't think that line was going to be like memorable and wonderful. I love it now. So... I wanted to pick this guy up just to keep it. I actually had a substitute for him in this. This was the... I can't remember if this was a BotCon exclusive or a subscription club exclusive, because I didn't buy it through either of those. I got it on eBay years later. Just wanted to get it. This is the... Classics Hot Rod, done up like Sideburn here. There are still things that I like about this better than this, but it's can two things exist in my space? Yes. So I think I'm still going to keep this guy because I still love him, but I think I'm going to keep him in maybe a different little section. I would also like someone to do a Hot Rod cosplay as this, and then show up at the Cybertronic spree, because that'd be cool. But anyway, this guy does have the shooting thing here. His is a just like the Classics Hot Rod. It is a made-up vehicle, kind of like a concept vehicle that they put together. But there are issues with these even because they're just early classics. Let's get into this guy. Transformation on this is odd. I'm just going to put it that way. While I'm doing it, I tend to then... I kept the instructions. I never keep the instructions. This is not a... I won't say it's difficult. It just sometimes doesn't make sense. So I'm going to try to do it without the instructions. See how we do on this. It's just a little bit odd. That's all. Because like once you start doing stuff, it kind of makes some sense. So like this flips down, and these parts flip out, and his little chest boob things go there, and then it goes back around. And this is kind of where even I get very confused about it, because I think something's supposed to spin around here, and then if you don't do it, no, That was wrong. There's that. And then this goes like this, spins back around. It kind of feels like you're half transforming this the entire time. And then you're like, all right, well, what's this supposed to look like? So then his feet fold back in. Now, this feels more like an animated lockdown style than the animated lockdown that they gave us. So it's like, it's real weird. They used this transformation scheme, which is really, I don't think is a lot like the original. It's been so long since I messed with that original one. I can't really tell you either way. There. So that clicks in. This is what I meant by it. It's just weird. Like, everything fits, but does it? I feel like this was also another issue I had with his hands, because they don't really feel like they're snapping down in there. Now, one thing I did figure out is I think you can hide this in here for the time being, instead of just having it sit around out. But I'm not even sure if that's supposed to be like that. You'd think that they'd have some sort of a spot for it. And this piece, come on, there, folds up. I thought it went on top of one of the hands, like that. Yep. So it does fit together. That's not really the problem with it. It's that it kind of doesn't fit together. And I guess that's the issue that I have with it. So I did fit that inside there, which is perfectly fine. I just feel like there should be like some sort of slot or something. Maybe I'm just missing it. Because you can also just plug this straight down, but it comes off a million times. So let's try to drop that on the floor. If you're in the Alpha Magnus drinking game, you can take a swig. I dropped something on the floor. So I guess this is my issue, is that no matter what you do, this is like so hard to get in there. So once you get it in there, you don't want to take it out. Like ever. This goes around here anyway. Like, this is my problem, is the alt mode is just terrible. And I don't feel like it fits together well. So we're just going to have to do this, which keeps this thing out, which I don't really like. So I thought it was supposed to fit together like that, and I'm pretty sure that's what the instructions say, but I've just been shoving it down in there, and it still barely fits. Like, it's still popping out. Let's try turning these sideways, maybe. Maybe that'll give us just a little bit more space, because they don't really, they fit right here. There's a little hole that goes into the, yeah, it might give us just enough. But even when you're doing this, you feel like it's coming, it is coming apart. I can feel it. Let's shove this thing back in here where we had it, because I really don't want that to be out. This is just annoying. I hate it when you have these figures and then it's just like, oh, just let that sit around outside. It bothers me. Yeah, like no matter what I do, that piece just keeps popping out. Annoying. Annoying. All right. And this has been pretty much the entire figure is just halfway transformed. All right, I'm moving on past that. This part goes up here. Lack of paint apps also not a great sign. The fact that this like never feels like it's really, well, that doesn't help either. That's popped out. Feels like you have to have giant man hands like I got to even stand a chance. And then it's still sticking out there. Very fiddly. I don't like it. Then you deal with this part where this looks nothing like a Dodge Viper. I was holding out hope for it, but I think I'm just going to 3D print it myself. Probably put it up on my Patreon and Shapeways, Things Count, one of those ones, and see how it goes there, because this is kind of terrible. But I like his bot mode better than his alt mode. So if you look at this guy, who in a stroke of genius, they just reused the hot rod mold that already existed, which is kind of what I wish they'd have done here. If they'd have just taken Studio Series hot rod and slapped some blue paint on him and gave him this, I probably would prefer that. In fact, still do that. Like, a Studio Series hot rod figure is amazing, to say the least, and it deserves another shot. I kind of figured that they would do a dark version of it. Like I can't remember what they call that thing, but I haven't seen anything recently. I think it was announced and then it just disappeared. So who knows? The shattered glass version that looks Unicron-ish. That's what it's supposed to be. All right. Look at the difference between that one and this one. Just the straight up ease of transformation. It feels good. This guy doesn't feel good. He feels very bad. Feel bad. There. So look at how slick that is. So that's what I said. I might just keep this guy in alt mode for now. The other thing that I like is a place for everything in its place. This is pretty slick. I definitely like that. I like this, but as I said, there's just issues. Like, this isn't very pronounced, or if you look at this one, it's more like the original, a little more out there. Where this is kind of just like, The fact that it's not a Dodge Viper is a big one. If you're not going to give us a Dodge Viper, just give us something like this. This is beautiful and does exactly what it needs to do, versus this guy, which doesn't even have proper hubcaps. Like, and then just falls apart as you're doing it. Not a fan. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of the. Now you can take it into bot mode real easy, which is, I guess, okay. But these are supposed to be kids' toys. Like, kids are not going to want to fiddle around with this stuff that much. These are not like the collector-oriented, larger, more expensive ones. These are just like the basic run-of-the-mill. To put a point, I think almost it might even be the same wave. I don't know if they don't list the waves on here, but the wave is pretty much there. You've got Bumblebee and Gears, who are amazing. Both of those figures are just slapped together, done. I don't have Bumblebee, but I do have Gears, and he is easily the best Transformer in a long time, for what that's worth. But I do like this guy's bot mode, I said, a lot better than his. His is just aged. Just, it happens. It's not as good as it once was. And then this part being all floppy and clear plastic, it's just everything about it just irks me. All right. And there it goes again. Not that this was one that was like, I was really looking forward to get. The only reason I did buy it was because it was on clearance. A little bit off. Not as good as my $1 Transformer deal, but still pretty decent. And then it does kind of keep the same transformation scheme, and does have somewhat of a similar look. So it will definitely go with all of the other ones I have. So now we just need, what, an X-Brawn, a Rid Prowl. I think we're good. They could also do a red repaint of this easily without even trying. The other one is, I got the HasLab coming for Big Boy Optimus, Omega Prime, which is if you do the Shattered Glass version of that, it's Alpha Magnus. That's where I got my name from. I love it when people think it's like some alpha male thing. I am not one of those guys. But what I am is a fan of this head sculpt. The head sculpt's not bad. It's actually really, really tasty. What are you going to do? You win some, you lose some with these. This one, I think we're going to give the bot mode a thumbs up and the alt mode a thumbs down. Just because you can't really put it together well. It's not really a good thing. I don't know what the heck something. Something gooey on my arm. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, comment. Till next time, I'm Alpha Magnus. These are toys.